somebody who is desiring more and more responsibility is not always bad. But I think it's the heart behind why you're seeking that. If you're looking for more because you want to love more people, you want to take on more, you want to help carry the burden of the ministry, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're looking for more because you're looking for a platform or you're looking for influence, then that's a dangerous place to be in. Because I know someone who'll give it to you, and it's not God.
Welcome to the Leading Second podcast, a space to help church leaders thrive in the second chair. The Leading Second podcast releases every Thursday morning, so hit subscribe and share this episode with your team. Let's jump into another episode for all of us who lead from the middle. Welcome to the Leading Second podcast. It's our honor to have you in this space with us today. And if you lead from the middle in any capacity, Leading Second is for you. If you find this episode helpful, I just want to encourage you to visit leadingsecond.com/podcast and download the episode guide that we've created specifically for today's episode. So feel free to use this with your team if you feel that it'd be of value. And we would love it if you would help us to make some noise about the podcast by sharing it with your team or posting this episode on social media or leaving ratings or reviews. It all helps share the message and move the ministry forward. Today, we have Temi Pope on the podcast, so let's jump into the interview.
Hey, welcome to Leading Second. Today, we're going to have an incredible conversation with, I think, one of the best second chair leaders in the world today, Miss Temi Pope.
Hello, everyone. First of all, thank you guys for having me on here. Brandon, Lindsay, the whole team, Larry. My name is Temi Pope. I am the chief of staff at Union Church here in Maryland and also in Charlotte. I've been in ministry going on full-time ministry 6 years now. Been a part of my church for over 11 years. I am a wife and a mom of two boys who have my absolute heart. And I love everything about what I get to do. It's an honor and a privilege that I try very hard to never take for granted, but I love it. And I'm just honored to be here. Thank you guys for having me.
So you wear a lot of hats is what I'm hearing you say.
I do, but I am a mom through and through. Like that is, I'm a wife, obviously, because then I'm a mom, but being a mom, being a boy mom is probably like my favorite. Like my kids, because you get to see life through their eyes, and they're so young and they're so innocent. It's the innocence of children, and now I understand why God tells us to be more like kids. They're just so. But yes, I do. I wear quite a few hats, but I love it. I love it all.
And I'm going to guess there's a lot of similarity between being a boy mom and also being chief of staff.
It's kind of like just wrangling kids.
And what makes you good at one makes you good at the other.
It really does. I think being a mom, there's patience. You gotta have endurance. You gotta have resilience. You can't get your feelings hurt because kids are honest. Kids will tell you the truth. So yeah, I do think that there are a lot of similarities being a mom and managing a staff. But even though I love being a mom, I do love talking to grownups. Like I do love having conversations that are stimulating and intellectual and not talking about, why the sun didn't come out today. And why is the sun a little white and not yellow and all of the things that kids do.
Wow. Would you have ever dreamed you would be in a role in ministry doing what you do?
Not even a little bit. So yesterday was 10 years that I graduated law school, and I found one of my pictures from graduation, and I literally was just looking at that young girl, and I was like, I really wish I would have just let God take control a lot sooner, because I could not imagine the journey he was getting ready to take me on. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I finally got it together, and I'm grateful that I said yes, but there's no way that I could have dreamt any of this, it. My husband, the kids, the church, the ministry, my role, none of it. And I think for anybody out there just listening, just give God yes. His plans are way better. Way better than anything you could try to control, manipulate, orchestrate. Just go ahead and give him your yes.
Yeah, and I think getting to know you and your church, Union Church, what a phenomenal church with a phenomenal pastor you have, and Pastor
Thank you.
Chandler, and
Yeah.
but it's getting to spend some time around you and the team. I think one of the things I so appreciate about you is you lean into your life experiences and you embrace who you really are, and you kind of bring that to the table. Like, what was that like for you stepping into this role and you like bringing your full self to it?
I'm not going to lie. It was a little hard at first, right? Because when you were trained to do something one way, and then you're coming into this ministry world, which is completely different. In the corporate world, no one cares about your family. No one cares about your
Yeah.
kids. No one cares if it's falling apart. No one cares about your mental health. No one cares about any of that. So coming into ministry, I actually remember when I stepped into full-time ministry, I was pregnant. And maybe about 2 months in, Pastor Stephen, my pastor, he called me into his office and he goes, "Hey, you're going a little hard for someone who's pregnant. I need you to slow down."
Wow.
And in my mind, I was looking at him like, I've never had a boss tell me or just even care, like, I need you to slow down. So I do think initially just making that change, it was a little hard. But one of the things that I do love about ministry is it embodies who God is, right? He cares about our whole self. He doesn't just care about one aspect of us. He wants us to be whole. He wants our families to thrive. He wants our finances to thrive. He wants all of that to thrive. So I love being able to love on people and make sure that happens. But at the same time, there is a business side and there are things that need to get done and deliverables and all of that. So it's a tension to manage.
Very nice. What was your first role in ministry then?
So it depends. Are you asking on full-time staff or just in general?
In general.
Oh, in general, we started all the way from the bottom. I was just a team member, but then I started leading our hospitality team back then. It was a team of like 10 people, and they were the greeters and the parkers. And baby, we greeted and parked till we couldn't greet and park no more. So I was over that team, and it was my first leadership role at the church.
So 10 parkers, greeters. Now, how big is the staff at Union?
We're at 75, 77 people.
Okay, so faithful with a few things, I'll put you in charge of many things.
I honestly, it's amazing what God can do and what he has done.
Yeah, and for anybody out there who's watching this podcast wondering, when am I going to get my chance? When am I going to get my shot? You do well to follow the example of Temi, who just said, you know what, I got 10 people in front of me. I'm going to lead them well, and we're going to create an atmosphere for these guests to walk in, feel so loved, so seen, so overwhelmed, they're going to fall in love with Jesus. And then look what God continues to do with you and through you, Temi.
Yeah, I definitely think one of the things that I tell my staff, I tell my leaders, I've never asked for a promotion. I've never angled for it. I'm not even going to lie, I've never desired it. And I'm not trying to be false. I'm not trying to portray false humility, but I literally, first of all, I was in over my head with what I had currently in front of me. So my only goal was to just do what was in my hand to the best of my ability. And, in the perfect world, I would actually say, transparently, if I would have stayed in some of my other roles, like I would have been coasting, I would have been like, I figured it out. This is good. We can do this for the next 5-10 years, but that's not how God wants us. He wants us to go from glory to glory to glory. And when you are coasting, you actually start to rely less on God. Yes. So I actually like being a little bit over my head because I got to go back to the Father a lot more often for help.
Well, because once your feet don't touch the bottom of the pool anyway, it doesn't matter whether you're if you're in 8-foot water or you're in 800-foot water, you ain't touching bottom.
You're not. Exactly. You better know how to swim. Get the treading water. Exactly.
But that's really cool. I love what you said. Like you never saw self-promotion. You were never seeking out kind of like promoting yourself or trying to get that raise or that promotion or that noticing. How rare is that in ministry today?
I feel like there's a new phenomenon in ministry today. I think that people are like, when I graduated high school, I wanted to go to college. When I went to college, I wanted to be a lawyer. That was the targeted trajectory for me. Ministry wasn't a thing, but I feel like nowadays we've made ministry sexy.
Yep.
which isn't a bad thing. I love
Yep.
the fact that the church is attracting more and more people, but I do think that there are people now that this is a career. So it is. And when you're in a career, it's how high can I go? What's the next objective? What's the next goal? What's the next promotion? Which gets a little dangerous because
Yeah.
if you're in it for that, then you forget what the whole purpose was, which is the people, which is stewarding God's people, like he's called us to do. So I definitely think for the leaders out there, seeking promotion is not, it's not bad. It's not pride. It's not, well, let me back up. Seeking promotion with the right heart. Somebody who is desiring more and more responsibility
Yep.
is not always bad. But I think it's the heart behind why you're seeking that. If you're looking for more because you want to love more people, you want to take on more, you want to help carry the burden of the ministry, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're looking for more because you're looking for a platform or you're looking for influence, then that's a dangerous place to be in. Because I know someone who'll give it to you, and it's not God.
Come on now.
Yeah, that gets a little dangerous.
It does, because there's this tension in ministry. We're supposed to be content with what we have, yet driven for what's next. So how do I walk out this tension? I got to be content. I want to be content with what you've given me, Lord, but I want to be driven to see more and more. But to your point, it's that heart issue of like, do I want more so I'm noticed more, I'm seen more, or more people fall in love with Jesus? What is the more?
Yeah, I mean, I also think for people who do want more where you currently are. So when I was leading my team of 10, I wasn't satisfied with the 10. One, because the 10 I needed more than 10 people to actually staff services, right? So my goal was I need 30, I need 40, I need 50. That's the more. When you're focused on that, guess what? My influence grew.
Yes.
From leading 10 to leading 40 to leading 50. Now there's 50 people calling me their leader. I'm just trying to staff services and get more in that regard. But all the other things that you're seeking gets added onto that when you're doing it with the right heart. So I do think for people who are seeking more, hey, there's nothing wrong with more. Seek more where you are. Build that team, enlarge that area, dominate whatever God has put in your hand. I promise you, if you focus solely on that, he will add everything else that you may desire, the platform, the influence, the salary, like whatever it is, it'll come.
I'm trying to get my 10-year-old to understand more because she wants to stay up later because she feels like she's a little older now. So let me stay up, have me a little more time staying up later, Dad. And I'm like, well, if you want more of that, you also need to clean your room a little bit more. You also need to you need to take on more responsibility in the house. Well,
it's a balance.
But that's not just my job, Dad. Well, like, do you want just one part of more? Or do you want all of more?
Oh no, we only ever want one part. We want the good part.
Yeah.
We don't want to deal with, because what people don't realize, with more comes more battles. Comes more attack. Comes a bigger target on your back from the enemy. Comes more souls you're responsible for. Like, it's not always. It's exactly what you said with your 10-year-old. Like, imagine if you start letting her stay up, the next day she's miserable because she's tired, she's exhausted, and what she thought she wanted, when it's not stewarded right, actually hurts her in the long run.
Yeah, I love it. So raising kids is a lot like leading in the church, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And I'm over here fighting for my life with both.
And you are thriving in it, my friend.
I'm trying. Thank you.
Got a couple questions I want to ask you. First, most important question we're probably to ask you today. Okay. In-N-Out or Whataburger?
Whataburger. I'm from Texas.
You didn't even waste time with that.
Girl. I listen, my husband is from California. So we actually have this argument in my house quite often. So when we go to Texas, we go to Whataburger and I'm like, is this not the best burger you've ever tasted? And he's always like, no, it's In-N-Out. And I'm like, whatever. So we'll never agree on that, but I'm a Whataburger all day.
I've only had Whataburger once. I love In-N-Out. So I land in the In-N-Out world.
Good. You gotta, and then in Whataburger, they have Sprite. But it's not Sprite. I promise you that thing is the strongest. That Sprite could probably corrode some stuff off your car. But it helps the food digest. It's great. It's unhealthy, but it's great.
So let it be written, Whataburger is better than In-N-Out, according to Temi.
Whataburger. Yep.
All right. What's the first thing you do each morning and why?
So non-spiritual, I drink water because I wake up thirsty.
I do as well.
Spiritually, so in this season of my life, my 2-year-old is actually in a regression where he's starting to wake up at 5 a.m.,
Oh,
4:30. Yeah, we're fighting
oh,
for our lives.
may the Lord bless you.
So what I actually do is I read the YouVersion Bible app. I read the verse of the day and I meditate on it. And I know it sounds rudimentary, but when I was growing up, my mom used to get these pamphlets called Our Daily Bread.
Yes, I
And
remember those.
every morning I used to have to read one before school. And I
Okay.
just feel like the U version is the modern day Our Daily Bread. And so for me, I do that. And I still later on in the day make time to spend time with God, but at least starting off my day knowing that I've read something. I fed my soul, even if it's just a little scripture, which usually leads to God saying something throughout the day that references that scripture back.
What was the most recent one of those that sticks in your mind?
It would be John 15. So it was abide in me and I in you. I am the branch, you are the vine. I am the vine, you are the branch. That scripture God has been speaking to me about that scripture for about 5 years now.
Okay.
And I think it was the scripture of the day, maybe about 3 or 4 weeks ago, or even like 2 weeks ago. But it's one of my favorite scriptures, and I think it always comes up at just the right time. And for me, just the right time is usually when I'm in over my head.
Okay.
And it's just a reminder to me, you got to get back to the source. You got to get back spending time with God. You got to get back abiding in him, because when he is the vine, we are the branch. Well, the branch is what bears fruit. But if you're not connected to the right thing, what fruit are you bearing?
Great.
And I think about it in the terms of what leaders do I develop if I'm not being developed by God? What souls am I stewarding if I'm not being, stewarded by God? And the last part of that verse always gets me, because he goes, apart from me, you can do nothing.
Nothing.
Apart from me, you can do absolutely nothing. And it's like, why would I want to do anything without him?
Yeah.
Like he is the master. He created me. He knows how he made me. He created the earth. He created everything in it. So it's like the cheat code. I'm going to the creator to tell me how to engage with creation. It's the best thing ever. So yeah, that is my verse, I would say, for this season.
Hey, it's Gina from the Leading Second team, and I wanted to let you know that coaching group applications are now open. And through this 12-month leadership development journey, you'll be equipped with tools to become the leader that your team needs and find community with other second chair leaders so that you can thrive in ministry. Our commitment is to walk with you on this journey to help you become the leader that you've always wanted to be and to have the community that you've always prayed for. So to apply, you can go to leadingsecond.com/coaching-groups.
You said something really key in there that I would love to ask you a little bit more. You said, when I'm in over my head.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I got a picture in my heart what that looks like and feels like. But if you were to describe to somebody what in over your head feels like to you, what does it feel like?
The first indication for me is the joy is sucked out of ministry. So when doing the work of the ministry becomes burdensome, when it becomes frustrating. And hear me, we're human, we have emotions, and you're going to feel different things from day to day. But in the 6 years that I've been in ministry, every day has been a joy. And when there are seasons where it's like, when I pull up to the office and it's like, oh gosh, I got to go in there, it is a check in my spirit of, hey, you're getting further and further away from the source. Because that means I'm trying to do things in my own strength. I'm trying to solve problems in my own strength. I'm trying to, and I've abandoned God, the person who is fueling me. So for me, that's what it looks like when the joy has been sucked out, when problems are, harder to solve. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hear me, there are problems that are going to come up that you got to call someone and get some help. But when it's just like, I can't figure this out and I'm getting frustrated and things aren't making sense and things aren't clicking, that's a sign that I've gotten a little further away from God than I need to be.
I think in my own life, I can resonate with that, because when I look back, I'll see rhythms and patterns where the burden was greater than it needed to be.
Yep.
It didn't need to be like that. And so when I look back, a lot of those rhythms, because it was the burden was around people, not necessarily issues within and systems and so for me, the burden really comes around people. What is that burden when you look back for you?
It's people. It's always people.
Okay.
We're in the people ministry.
Yeah.
I think it's always people. And I think the reason why is because we're flesh, like we're human. We're just, our flesh is, our flesh be fleshing. And I think the enemy uses people. And he will try to use people to push your buttons. He will try to use people to frustrate you. He will try to use people to pull you out of your calling, out of your covering. So for me, when I look back, it's always a season where the right people weren't in the right seat. So like we didn't have enough leaders, or it was a season where there was dissension. So a person that was there should have never been there, or they weren't healthy, or it may have been a season of just, trauma or hurt or grief or something because someone was lost or someone was gone. It's always people. You're right on. I don't think there's ever a time where I've went to God and said, God, the finances are stressing me out, or God, the system that was created isn't working. It's always people. People are the margin of error.
I love it.
You know who created the people? He did. So when I go back to him and tell him to come get his people, he gets it right together.
I so agree with you. I so resonate with that because it's people. And for me specifically, I was thinking about this a couple of days ago. One of the patterns of people that's really that create more burden for me than I think I probably need to carry is people that I want to get it that appear just they can't get it or they won't get it. And those are the ones that I really go home and the burden echoes a whole lot longer than it's supposed to.
Yeah.
And I realize for me, it's because I'm putting myself in the one to kind of rescue them, or the one that I'm think is supposed to. And that's not my job. My job is not to change somebody. My job is to be a part of the process.
Yeah, that's good.
What is it for people with you? What is the burden with people?
I think for me, we're dealing with a new generation of people. I mean, that's the best way that I can put it. I think it's kind of what we talked about earlier. There are people who are in it for the wrong reasons. There are people who are just young. They're just immature. One of the things that I've realized recently, people have grown up with trauma. People have grown up in broken homes. People were raised by broken parents. People have experienced traumatic events in their lives that at the time, myself included, it doesn't look traumatic, right? It's like, oh, that's normal. That's what happens here. And as you grow older and you grow up and you develop, you build a personality around it. You build defenses and mechanisms. So as you now step into ministry, we're not all stepping into ministry whole. So there are a lot of parts of us that are unhealthy, and they start to rear up at the wrong time because the enemy knows just when to flare it up. So I think really for us in this season is just we're focusing on getting people healthy. Getting people whole, dealing with the traumas of the past and the griefs of the past that we really, honestly, we've lived with. And I mean, I can even think about myself. I'm a little bit of a control freak.
No.
You know what? Let me say that in a better way. I am a former control freak. God has redeemed me.
A recovering control freak, huh?
I'm a recovering control freak. But that need for control was birthed in my childhood, not by anything my parents did intentionally, but I just felt like I had no control. So as I grew older, I had to be in control. And guess what? The world celebrated that. In corporate America, that was great. It was like, oh, she knows what she's doing. She knows how she's doing it. She can plan everything. She can organize everything. It served me well in college. I went to college. I knew where I was going. It served me well in law school because you're goal oriented. But then you get into ministry or let's forget ministry. You become a Christian. And the whole point of becoming a Christian is you no longer have control of your life. Yeah. You know how stressful that is for a controller?
Put down everything you picked up.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's now having to relearn. It's now like, okay, hold on. God actually never created me to be that much in control. There's an unhealthy part to it. So now I have to learn how to relinquish control, both spiritually with God, but also with my team.
Beautiful.
Like I now have to be like, oh, I want, okay, nope, we're gonna go for it. And I'm gritting my teeth and praying, Lord, please don't let him mess it up. Please don't let him mess it up. But I'm learning and I'm healing. And the more I release control, the further the team can run. And the more I release control, the more God can entrust with me. And the more I release control, the more I'm getting healthier.
Beautiful.
So I do think for everyone, we got some stuff inside of us that we got to heal.
You just helped me connect some dots here. I reference a lot of the burden I feel for people is when they don't get it. Mm-hmm. And I realize like, I'm trying to control how they should change. Mm. And so for anybody watching this or listening to this podcast, what a great question to reflect upon. What am I trying to control that God said that's not in your job description? That's above your pay grade.
Yeah.
And I think in our humanity, all of us grow up in situations or we're exposed to situations that cause us to want to hold on to it. Yeah. But who better than you to lead your staff, to lead your church, a recovering control freak, to have grace and wisdom to say, I know why they're fighting for this.
Yeah.
It's because they don't feel like they can control anything. So rather than getting frustrated at their behavior, man, it helps me understand the belief systems underneath it. The behavior is not the issue. It's the beliefs. It's the belief system underneath it. That's really the problem.
100%. I agree.
I love it. Hey, what would be one thing you would hope Pastor Stephen Chandler, your pastor, would say about you?
Oh, I hope he would say that I showed up at work and did my job. I think it's such an interesting question. I think for me, I would want Pastor Stephen to say that I honored God and led a life of integrity. Like, because ultimately at the end of the day, if I honor God and lead a life of integrity, then I am doing my job. Then I am being a good wife. Then I am being a good mother. Then I am being a good chief of staff. I think, I want him to be able to say she honored God with her life, all her decision-making, all of her leadership, everything that she brought to the table was first a sacrifice unto God before it was unto him or anybody else.
Yeah. And I think he would say that about you. I
hope so. He may say some other stuff too, but I think that's one of them.
I agree. We talked about this before we started this interview, but if there's one thing you could stop doing today or hand off to somebody else, what would it be?
It's such a difficult question in this season because just now, like probably the last 4 months, I am in a season where everything I do is what I want to do and what I need to do. I think obviously, and there's been seasons of the church where I had to do everything for, whatever reason or the other. But right now, I think everything I do, I enjoy, I love. The only thing that I would say is staff transitions. If I could, because it's just it's never easy. Whether it's a great transition for life reasons or if it's a bad transition, it's still a transition. So if I could pass that off, I'd probably pass that part off.
I think a lot of people might want to pass that off.
It's never fun. It never is. Because especially in ministry, you build family. Yeah. You build family with the people, you get to know them. So it's a little difficult, whether they're going. We had someone transition because they were having a baby. And it was just like, but just come back after you have the baby. It's just like, well, no, God is calling me into this season. I was like,
yes,
okay, sure.
It is that part of ministry. That's why earlier when you referenced like, hey, when you were like running after your law degree and you were going to get into being a lawyer, nobody cared about your personal life. They didn't care. Transitions there are easy because you're not invested in it.
Absolutely not. You don't have, they're not your friends. They're your coworkers.
Correct.
They're not family. Even the language we use in ministry is different. I don't have coworkers. I have family. I do life with my staff. So their wins are my wins. Their losses are my losses. So it just feels a little different.
But it took you a long time to get to the point that your job description reflected things that were energizing to you, things that you thoroughly enjoyed. Because there were long seasons where it's like, it was things that, you had to do, you didn't necessarily get to do.
Right.
So take a second, talk to the person out there that their job description is probably made more up of things that they have to do rather than they get to do. What would you say to them?
I think being in ministry or just having a job where you may be in a role right now where you're just like, this isn't my gifting. I don't enjoy this. I'll do it because they need it, but it is a season. It is a season. And if you're faithful with little, God will move you on to the next thing. And I think it's the same thing with parents. Like everyone loves their kids, right? You love when they're laughing and joking. No one wants to wake up at 2 and 3 and 4 in the morning and deal with them. No one wants to change poopy diapers. Like I've never heard a mom. There may be one out there, but I've never heard a mom that's like, oh my gosh, I get to change diapers. It's amazing. No, but just like you have to do the changing the diapers and waking up in the middle of the night to be able to see your child play basketball or graduate college or whatever, you have to do the same thing with your job. You're going to have to do some hard stuff or some stuff that you don't love so that you can do the stuff that you, that fuel you, that birth you. And I think the biggest thing that I could say is in the season where you are doing something that you may not enjoy, find something that you do love and focus on that. So for me, there were seasons where I was doing stuff where it was like, hey, I'm not a fan of this. I led groups and I loved pouring into women, and that fueled me, and that kept me motivated because it reminded me it's about the people, not what I'm doing. So there's a way to balance it, but find something that you love and stick to that, but still steward what you're handed.
Yeah, love it. And last question, this is what it's going to be. And thank you again for taking time out to be a part of Leading Second, this podcast. We both love what Brandon and Lindsay are doing, creating a space.
They're amazing. Yes.
Creating that space for second chair leaders, because second chair leader isn't a spot in the org chart. It's a spirit of the heart. It's this place of saying, God has called me here. I'm going to hold my pastor's arms up and I'm not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And so, but for you, how do you define success in leading from the second chair?
So for me, it's two things. I think it's one, being in alignment with God, and then being in alignment with my senior pastors. And the reason why I say being in alignment with God is because God is the one that should be putting you in seats that you're in, right? He'll use your senior pastors, but and I'm quoting Pastor Chris Hodges. He said this at a conference a few years back, but he said, whatever called you to it should be the only thing that moves you from it. Yep. So if God called you to that church or to that seat or to that pastor, then God should be the only thing that tells you when it's time to go. And so if you're in alignment with God, you're hearing him, you're listening to him, you're speaking to him, then he tells you where to go. And then being in alignment with your senior pastors, they're the visionaries. It's their church. It's their vision that God has given them. And it's your job to help them fulfill that. And anytime you are out of alignment with one of those two, it's going to get a little funky. Woo. So I would say for any second chair leader out there, any third, fourth, fifth, sixth chair leader out there, make sure that you're in alignment with God first. Make sure that he has put you where you are, and then make sure you're in alignment with your senior pastors.
I love it. I love the language. Well, it is success. And I love the example. I love the visual out of alignment. I just got my car done last week, and it's one thing when your car starts shaking just a little bit, you really don't notice it. And it shakes a little bit more each day, you're just cars like shit, but you don't even notice it.
Come on, Larry, preach it.
But when somebody gets in the car, like, oh my gosh, this thing is bouncing all over the place. It's the little bit, just 1 degree of misalignment each day. You never notice.
I love that you said you don't notice it, but when someone gets in the car, they notice it.
If
you are out of alignment, you start to leak, and you start to leak on the people that you're leading, and they're going to notice. And that's not helpful or healthy for anyone.
Wow. If we had another podcast, we would talk about leaky leadership is where we would take that one.
Ooh, there you go. Write the book, Larry. Write the book.
Well, you're leaking not because you don't love God. You're just out of alignment.
You're just out of alignment.
Yep.
And the Bible says out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So if you're not in alignment, I guarantee you everyone can tell. They're just waiting for you to either get right with God or they're waiting to get you off the team.
Leaky leadership.
Leadership.
Pastor Temi, I'm going to let you take the last word here. A lot of different folks watch this podcast, people in small church, big church, Pentecostal, the frozen chosen. You got charismatics all the way down to, the casual observer. You're speaking to a bunch of different leaders out there. One of the things when I see at the leadership landscape is there's not enough strong female leaders out there. Mm-hmm. You are a great leader who happens to be a female. You're a great leader who happens to be a Black woman. You're a phenomenal leader. but there's not enough examples out there to point to. One, what is that like for you? And two, I want you to speak to somebody out there who's wondering, like, can I keep doing this? Like, can I keep fighting this fight? Can I keep showing up? Like, is it worth it, God? I want you to talk to them, but speak about the tension and then maybe speak to that person out there.
I think two things. I have phenomenal pastors. I really do. I understand that it is rare being a Black woman in my seat, but I have pastors who don't care about that. And they really, truly listen to God, and they've allowed me the space to be who God has called me to be. So I honor them for seeing that. I think for anyone who's out there who doesn't know if they can keep trucking, who don't know if they can keep doing this, it goes back to what I said. You got to get back to the source. Yeah. Like, if God called you to it, he's the only thing that calls you out of it. You don't let people call you out of it. You don't let finances call you out of it. You don't let offense call you out of it. You don't even let misalignment call you out of it. You go back to the source and you spend time with him, because he is the one that'll fuel you. He is the one that'll activate you. He is the one that'll give you everything you need to be able to do what he has called you to do. It sounds so simple. It's like, oh, well, duh, Temi, we know, everyone knows. We say it. Yeah, but we just don't do it.
Wow. Doing
the work of the ministry is not spending time with God.
Come on.
That is why he says he wants us to abide in him. He didn't say go out and make disciples for him. And then he did say that later, but he also says abide in him. Spend time with him first. Spend time in his presence, not telling him about your calendar, not telling him about your to-do list, not telling him about your problems, but hey, God, it's your daughter. It's your son.
Yeah.
And I just want to say hi. How you doing? And wait for him to speak back every single day, not just in the difficult seasons, but every single day. And I guarantee he's a good father. He will speak, and he will give you exactly what you need to make it another day, to make it another week, to make it another month. And you're going to look up, you've made it a decade, and you're thriving and things are going great. But that's the key. That's my cheat code.
Yep.
Go back to God. Spend time with them.
I love it. Temi Pope, thank you for joining us today.
I'm excited to read your book, Leaky Leadership.
It's coming your way soon.
Thank you.
It is our honor to serve churches and leaders across the globe. We equip ministry leaders with the coaching, events, and resources needed to embrace their calling, get it right with their pastor, and lead in an uncommon way. Visit our website, leadingsecond.com, to learn how we can come alongside you as you lead from the middle. From the second chair, for the second chair.